Welcome to Uncomfortable Growth, the podcast where we get comfortable with getting uncomfortable. This is a space for real conversations about growth in all the places life stretches us, because growth doesn't only happen when things are going well, because sometimes growth looks like we're barely surviving. If you ever felt like growth was harder than you expected, you're in the right place. Let's get into today's conversation. So, welcome.
Yes, thanks for having me.
I'm so excited you're here. Welcome to Uncomfortable Growth.
Yes, here we are.
Yeah, this is season 2 and you're episode 3.
Okay.
So we're doing a lot of entrepreneurs and businesses on Uncomfortable Growth. I'm not sure, have you ever listened to one of our
I've seen them.
bits and pieces?
Yeah, definitely. Socials? Yeah.
So the whole purpose is, I feel like there's a lot of unknown in the world of entrepreneurship, running your own business. And you purchased Sunset Blinds, how long ago now?
2020.
2020.
Part of COVID.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yes. And because I met your husband, because we had Sunset Blinds with the previous owners do our home.
Yes.
Husband came in and I was blown away with the customer service that he brought.
Yeah,
we have the
guy.
electric blinds up high,
Yes.
and there's like a wire that would, like, when it gets cold, it cuts out. And it really, we've had them forever. They're not under warranty. He came in, he didn't charge us. Like, he looked at them. He was beyond. And customer service, I think, in a small community is huge. So we talk about all the good and the bad. But it's really, I think it's really important for, like, the viewers who are watching to truly understand how much you have to get uncomfortable to thrive in business.
Absolutely. And, customer service is really the biggest pillar of being an entrepreneur, because if you're not in it for your market or your clients, why are you there?
Yeah.
Right? So we were we grew up, born and raised in Huron County.
Okay.
But we have a lot of family in Bruce County, and the business stretches, even beyond there. So I think when you grow up in a small community, you have that small town heart.
Yeah.
And, most people that come in get that right away, and they can feel that and sense that, and they build a nice rapport, and with our staff as well. And then there's the fraction of clients that come in, as you probably see in real estate too, where they're coming in from the city or somewhere else. And, whether it's the pace or just, really genuinely, like, you're genuinely there for them and you've got their back. And I think that's really refreshing, because they're maybe not used to that as much.
Yes.
They think, someone's going to swoop in so many blinds and I'll never see them again. And that's not the case.
No, you definitely feel that. So let's start at the beginning. Tell me, like, I know you as Courtney, Sunset Blinds, but I don't really know you before, the journey that got you here. Tell me a little bit about you guys, about your family, about how you decided to kind of...
Yeah, so our story is actually quite unique. The previous owner was looking for a retirement succession plan and didn't have one. And he was a friend of my dad's, and my dad just kind of kept poking at Ty and being like, you should really, check this out, go out and see what this is about. And he was kind of like, why would I ever want to sell blinds?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even have, my house isn't even full of blinds. Like, this was, 7 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, but there's just something there. And so it was like, yeah, okay. Like, just in passing one day, they, my dad, my brother, and my husband all farmed together. And just in passing, Ty's like, yeah, set it up. I'll do it. And he was in the automotive manufacturing industry, which, as we know, has had a hard decline in Ontario, let alone Canada. So he was just like, you know what? Let's just do it. So it was set up and it was arranged. And then we lost my dad very tragically.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In a farming accident. And throughout that process and the grieving and, the social gatherings, it was like, yeah, no, I still want to do this. I still want to do this.
Yeah.
So he got into that, and he worked in the company for a couple of years, which I think is really important, because if you can't if you can't work your business, you can't run your business, right? So
I love that.
So he worked in the business for a couple of years, started from the bottom up, and then in 2020 he pulled the trigger and said, I want to do this.
Wow. That's pretty incredible. It's kind of like your dad is still a part of the journey because he's the one who pushed you guys.
Yeah, and then me, on the other hand, I did not grow up thinking I was going to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
I always, just envisioned myself working for somebody else and doing all the things. And then I was in the business for a good solid year. And, our kids were getting older. And he's like, you know what, I really need you. I really need you. And I was like, and at the time you think, I've been doing the same thing for like 20 years.
What did you do before?
I worked in education.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
now
public education.
That's a tough job to do.
Yeah, so more administration.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't have a design background. He's like, just come in, do the books. Come in, relieve the stores. I need you by my side supporting me. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And it was a big, big leap.
Yeah.
But
scary.
And then it turned into being in the showrooms again, learning things from the bottom up.
Yeah.
And having coaching from the staff that have a lot of years experience on me.
Yeah.
And, just learning something new every single day. And now, yes, I'm in the stores, and yes, I'm doing the books and the marketing and whatnot, but, getting out there and meeting with customers and supporting our sales staff and just really pivoting to whatever needs done. So that's kind of where I came in.
That's incredible. So family-based,
yes,
which I relate to.
Yes.
I feel that huge. That's a big thing for me, is having my family involved in what we're doing, because I truly believe you can make money doing anything, but you can be rich in your soul if it lights you up and you have the people around you who love you, who you love, and love you back most days, a part of that journey.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have kids?
We do. Yep. Our son is 13.
Okay.
So he's going to be working a bit more with Ty this summer. And then our daughter is 10.
Yeah. So it's such a fun, impressionable age. When before real estate, I owned the spa room here in town. And I sold it to an owner, and then she sold it, which totally off track, but totally full circle moment. She put it up for sale. And it almost didn't sell. She was just going to close the doors. And then I brought the new buyer in real estate.
Wow.
And it was crazy. Sorry, I completely went off track. But having kids involved in the entrepreneurial journey, I say to my kids almost every day, because I have one that is extremely academic. They're actually both very academic. However, one is more book smart, and the other one is more me, like entrepreneurial background. But I say to them, it doesn't matter what you do. If you have a passion for something and you like something and you love what you're doing, you can make money doing it, as long as you're genuinely helping other people along the way.
That's right.
It's so refreshing for our kids to see that. Sorry. I love
true.
when I hear it's about helping your husband and coming in and really learning that side of it. Is just, it touches me a different way, just because I'm there with you.
It's been a beautiful journey, and the kids, they're not strangers in the stores. Yes, they can stay home on their own now, but there were days when, you blew up the air mattress in the back room and someone's laying down, right? Like, not me. I mean,
we wish,
right? But I'm just like, I gotta go, because if I'm not there, no one's there.
No one's
and
there.
then that's not good either. I mean, within reason, we have support for sure, but there's just some days where they would tag along, or they would help, cleaning the windows and helping with installations, and it's
fun.
It's fun.
So there's obviously challenges that come with owning a business. What would you say? Because again, it was owned by another person. You guys have multiple locations.
We do. We are in Goderich, Kincardine, and Port Elgin. So downtown in all 3 locations.
Yeah. And being a brand and a name, like, I didn't even know it had sold or changed hands until I had a problem.
Right.
How was that challenge to create your own brand? Because no matter what, yes, your Sunset Blinds, but it's you guys now.
Yeah, no, when we came on to the scene, we thought, you know what, there are some really solid business practices here. Just like everything down to the paperwork and how things are managed and how clients are managed when they call or come in. And then, but right away, Ty wanted to do rebrand, so we did, and we just went with a different logo and gave the website a refresh. When you're starting out, you do all these things yourself, right? So just little things like that, and just getting things out on social media about things that have changed, and even downtown Saugeen Shores or Port Elgin, we had the ribbon cutting ceremony with the mayor, which was really special. And just being out at trade shows and introducing yourself and
creating that buzz around you guys. Yeah. And what would you say is the biggest change you guys have done since taking Sunset compared to what it was?
I would say that it was kind of a natural progression, because when we came in, it was COVID.
Yeah.
Which was
crazy.
Scary time. In 2023, the window covering industry had a full overhaul, and the Canadian Health Canada requirements all changed. Cords are gone.
Right.
Which drove a lot of motorization.
Mm-hmm.
And not, super duper always has to be expensive motorization, but motorization options that work for different types of budgets. And I would say that leading up to that point, in both the residential and commercial side, a lot of base things were chains. People were used to chains, cords, they were comfortable with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it's like, what do you mean I can't have that? Or this blind has failed, what do you mean you can't replace it? So I think bringing in more of the motorization products from all different price points, and as well as growing our exterior product line. So we have exterior screens, awnings, permanent awnings, retractable awnings, options for, again, commercial and residential. Even getting into, screened in pergolas and things like that. So
I'm a little bit biased because you guys did my awning. Actually, the other owners of Sunset Blinds did my awning for the spa room as well.
Oh,
so that's how it all started for me with Sunset. But then we did the awning out here, and you guys nailed it.
It's beautiful.
Perfect. It's beautiful. It's classy. I know the process, but let's talk about what that looks like, for commercial, because I think it's such an untapped market. And I think business owners in general need to be willing to kind of invest a little bit, and that is something that is just so easy for advertising. I pay $900 a month for a billboard.
Right.
Yes, my awning wasn't cheap.
No.
But if you really think about it, let's say, I'm trying to remember, $5,000. Let's just say,
Yep.
ballpark, $5,000. Well, that's 6 months of a billboard. I'm on the main drag. It's beautiful. It's clean. It's crisp.
It's your signage.
It's my signage. I'm right out front of the Wiz.
Yeah.
There's patios. There's people walking by. It's such a good investment, as well as pinpointing and having it that it screams our colors. It screams our professionalism. It still screams our brand. So what does that process look? Let's go into business first.
Mm-hmm.
If I am a business owner and I'm thinking, hey, I want to do something, budget-wise, where's the range of the budget? How does the step start? What is the process?
Right.
So
the majority of that product type comes from right here in Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a trusted manufacturer that builds and does all the artwork on the awnings when we do require artwork. They do up the proofs and the client proofs them and everything. So we would come out, we would measure, we talk about any obstacles or any changes. Sometimes, depending on signage and awning requirements for downtowns, they have to have approval or permits or things like that, so we can help navigate that process, because we did it at our store too.
And you actually, another customer service that will keep me a client of you guys forever is, you told me about Spruce to Bruce.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have even applied for that. And I went through the process, I applied for it, and we got the grant.
It's amazing.
So it still helped. And that was, time. You didn't have to tell me about that. You didn't have to, but you really took the time to get to know me.
Yeah.
And understand, even budget wise, like, hey, we're putting a ton of money into this building right now.
Mm-hmm.
We need this, but I need to do it affordable.
That's right.
You heard me, which is very rare. I find we're losing that touch in business so much.
For sure. And I think that's something that Ty and I always come back to when we're quoting jobs. Like, it's not just walk in, here's the price in the book. Mm-hmm. Not that we have different standards for different clients, but if somebody is in a commercial application, it changes the ballgame a little bit. Mm-hmm. If somebody is in a volume discount situation, that changes things. And then sometimes we're able to pivot between different manufacturers because we don't just carry one product line. We have everything from A to Z. And if you're going with a lower budget option, you might compromise quality a little bit. But if budget's more important than quality, because it's still a good product, we're not going to sell something that's not a great product. But, if someone can live without a certain bell or whistle because it meets their budget, like, that's the piece that we really take the time and attention to.
Which is really nice, because I feel like in all sales, sometimes it gets lost. The client will sometimes just make the assumption you're going to price out the most expensive. And I really found when I was working with you that you actually took the time. You came down, you seen the project, you were excited about it, you seen me stressed, you seen me calm, you really took the time to at least understand. I even had you price out blinds, and I'm sure you're cringing in here, but still, you took the time to price out other blinds, and as that budget allows,
yes,
it was really, really refreshing to have that one-on-one consultation. I think is missing so much to get to know the client. You guys nail that.
Yeah. And I'm not going to sell someone a blind just because I want to sell them a blind.
Right.
When you're in their home and they're doing maybe a really high impact, high budget item in a common living space, and they're like, I don't know what to do about the bathroom. I was thinking about just doing window film or something like that. Yeah. It's like, go for it.
Yeah.
Try it out. If you don't like it, it's inexpensive. You take it down.
Yeah.
And, we can have this conversation in 2 or 3 years. And that's the beautiful part, because we actually had a client come into the showroom this morning from 2023 and said, I'm ready.
Amazing.
And it's like, yes, I remember you. And I remember the products we talked about. They might have changed.
Yeah.
But let's see where we're at.
And if you would have pushed or made that client feel like, because money's a tricky topic.
It out. Like some people say, do you still have that from 2 years ago? We do.
Yeah.
It might be in my home office, but it's still around, right?
Yeah. Like that's the beauty, I think, of just being genuine and kind and being family owned. Like, just really being able to relate. Everybody struggles, and people are ashamed to be like,
right.
It's a tough thing to say to people, because especially in small town. Right, that
or I didn't expect it to be that much, or that's as much or more than all my windows for my house. And it's like, I get it. So maybe let's just focus on this floor or these rooms. And if you're not sure about that room, like some people say, I don't even know if I want something there. Well, then let's not put something there. Let's focus on these rooms instead, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge in the transition has been, what would you say? You had to pick one.
Staffing.
Staff. Oh, isn't that all of it in entrepreneurial?
When we took things over, nobody was in the showroom. So we're paying for all these showrooms and no one's there because no one can come in and see us. But we were essential, so we could still work.
Okay.
So we took on the company, we took on the good, the bad, and the ugly. We took on all the existing staff who were all nice people.
Yeah.
And just over time, we just found that some of their priorities just didn't align with our business model and our ethics. And over time, things just either worked themselves out or, we made a change. But staffing's a tough one. In a small town, in a city, finding good people to work for you that maybe don't care as much as you because your heart is 110% in what you're doing.
Yeah.
But somebody who is there to work for you, work hard for you within boundaries, and to be, honest and dedicated, that's pretty special.
I think in the entrepreneurial world, I don't see coming to work as work.
Right.
Right? I see going to the office as part of my life. And I think that's the difference. And as an entrepreneur who's growing their world, like I always say, I'll never retire.
Right.
I will always be an entrepreneur. I'm always figuring out different ways to do different things. But I need help. So I have to hire people. But they see it as work. They see it as a job, not their life. So it's a different mindset. And it's hard to find people who want to grow with you.
That's right.
Because if they don't, and I think all too often employers don't value their employees, or there's no room to grow.
Right. Or employees plateau sometimes. And that's okay.
And that's okay. And sometimes, though, I just had this conversation with realtors, but helping your employees get to a spot where they've hit that top level, right? They've hit there's no more room for you to grow. But I hope that I've helped you grow as a human being, as a person. I see your potential. I hope you see your potential now. And your next chapter is going to help you grow to the next. We don't have anything more here for you. But because we just budget-wise, financially, we're here.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so far you can go. Or maybe you go into a different department. Maybe they go into marketing. Maybe they go into running your social media. Maybe they go into a different section of the entrepreneurial world. But once they can't, I think all too often it's like, okay, they get tired. They get burnt out. Their quality of work isn't the same. Calling in sick, and then it just gets to a point where it's like it's not enjoyable to have them as your employee, but it's also not enjoyable, I'm sure, for them to be working here.
That's
either.
Right. Yeah.
There's no spark.
And change is constant. And I've been sad in all of my professional capacities to lose staff, good or maybe not the best of what they did, but still great people. When you surround yourself with great people, you're sad to see them go. But I've never not been happy for somebody from moving on to something better or bigger.
Yes. And that is incredible. We were talking about this because one of the realtors, we were talking about like leaving old brokerages, and we won't get into that because we're not talking real estate today. But she was saying, I don't know if it's our profession or if I was to be working at Walmart and I was a manager, but theirs offered me, the next level up with a better pay, better hours, better that the employees at Walmart are going to be happy for me because I have a great opportunity.
Right.
And that's what you want to see. You want, I truly believe anyone who works with me, I want them to love the journey. I want them to have learned something from me. I want to learn something from them. We grow until you can't grow anymore. And if you can't pivot in a different direction, instead of letting it go flat and instead of building up I won't say resentment, let's say annoyance of the employee having to come to a job that doesn't light them up anymore, and the employer feeling frustrated that they're not lit up anymore.
Right.
Sometimes it's better just to part ways on really good terms and find that next chapter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I said, growing is an evolution, and if you're not growing and learning something new, you're not moving forward.
There's opportunity though. Do you feel this there's opportunity from every person that you work with, even in the spa industry, going from spa to fitness to real estate. Every challenge, and staffing, I would always say, is probably the hardest. It not because you don't enjoy the people you work with, but just because you do become attached to them, right? I'll never forget when I owned the spa. The girls I worked with, I seen them more than I see my family. They were a part of me. So when you lose them, good or bad, because there was many times I remember an employee I let go and I let emotions get in the way, and I didn't handle it very professionally. This was 15 years, 20 years ago now, but still, I didn't handle it the best way because I seen her as a friend or as a family member, and I felt betrayed. Instead, I should have seen her as a business versus, but it was a huge, valuable lesson that I took from it, and I learned something from it, and I never made that mistake again. So there's opportunity in every situation.
Definitely.
And I think that is key with being an entrepreneur. That is key with running a business.
It is, because, you know, no matter who you are and what your job is, when you walk through those doors, you're there to do your job.
Yeah.
You're not there to, you know, fixate on other things that are going on. And, you know, people are compassionate and they care. But at the end of the day, we're there to get the job done.
And you're being paid.
That's right.
And that's the tricky part too, right? Is you're paying out of your paycheck. That's what people forget when you're an entrepreneur. Like, I pay everything to run my business out of all the work that I'm doing as a real estate agent. Commission checks is paying the other people. I'm taking out of my paycheck, my money, my time. There has to be value for what you're giving. If you're paying somebody for a $10,000 service, you expect a $10,000 service. It's the same thing with your employees, but it's hard for employees to realize that, oh, this is coming out of Courtney's pocket.
Right.
She's paying out of what she takes home because you own that business. So,
yeah. And, you know, sometimes when you have to make tough decisions, it's hard not to be emotional towards that, you know, like,
it's time away from your kids. It's time away from your husband. Well, your husband's with you. We'll get to that in a second. But like, it's time, and that's one thing that I've learned over the years is you can't replace time.
No.
And you don't get that time back, and people's time matters. So when you are taking the time to train, to build, to be there, to have that meeting, to do all of these things, that's your time that you're not doing things that you could be doing or that you love to do.
That's right.
And that matters. Okay, so I said I'd get there. Working with your husband. Tell me about it. It's got to be amazing, but there's got to be challenges.
Yeah. So we're both Libras.
Okay.
Which is a whole other thing. But, you know, I think that we are friends first, and business partners second. And I think that we do a good job of respecting each other in both personal and professional capacities. It's interesting. Like, there are days when it's like, okay, I just don't need to see you for a while.
Yeah, I need a minute.
Yeah.
I love you, but
do you want to come with me to see this client? No, I think you can handle it.
Yeah, I'm good. I want to have a bath.
You know, overall, it's pretty good, and I think, you know, we protect the ones that we love, and, you know, we want to support them as much as we can. But yeah, we have our routines, right? Like, we actually don't cross paths as much because we're in different towns on different days.
Okay.
Which is good, because sometimes it's like, I need you to handle this, or I need you to deal with this, or whatever, which is great. But it's when you get home and it's like, where's the line in the sand? It's like,
how do you turn work off? Like, that would be, and don't get me wrong, Rob is very much a part of this real estate office. Very much. And we plan our systems together. But he is not a realtor. Right? So when I am dealing with clients and sales and all of that, he doesn't get to chime in on that end of it because he doesn't understand it.
Right.
You guys, like, how do you draw that line? And if you're giving advice to anyone listening that is a husband and wife duo, how do you draw that line from turning work off? Because like we just said, it doesn't feel like work, right? It's life.
It's true. I mean, I'd be lying if I said we didn't work 7 days a week. The work turns on before we leave the house. It turns off, you know, at some point when we're home. Sometimes it's just establishing, okay, there's these things we need to talk about, and then that can wait. So, like, this is family time, this is, you know, work time. It's tough though.
Yeah.
It is tough, especially since like we have different like focus times of the day. It's like, don't talk to me before I've had my coffee.
Yes.
Is it an emergency? No. So, we just kind of ebb and flow. And, one of the beautiful things about being an entrepreneur is, it's not, knocking off at 2:00 every afternoon and heading to, a hockey game or something. It's like, yes, you can do different things at different times and you can flex your time around, but you still have to make up for the time that you're flexing, right?
Yes.
So, we have that whole family dynamic. The kids get it. Sometimes things need to be done, and then,
and the kids are very
stuff.
much a part of it too,
Yeah.
right? So they would understand if, do your kids play sports?
Yes.
Yeah, so mine too.
Yes.
So they understand sometimes, like, hey, I got to be on this call, or you guys run into the hockey arena and I'm going to do this consultation over the phone. And there's never that turn off time.
That's right. The one thing I really wish we could do is get better cell service.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
In the summer. I got to talk to you before I hit Glamis. Bye.
It's like, oh, tourist season.
Yep.
I can't have a phone call without it dropping.
No. It's, we do a lot of talking on the phone.
Yeah.
Or it's like, okay, I'm hitting the road, I'm going to call you and we'll just work as we go. Because, hands-free things are easy, right?
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. You can read their little cues, their little things that they maybe don't say but mean. And so I think it's just kind of
figuring out that balance.
Yeah, and enjoying being around each other, like as much as I...
You said at the beginning, he's my friend first. And I think, not that we'll go into a marriage podcast, but I think that's so important in marriage and if you work together. Like, Rob is my best friend. There isn't a thing I wouldn't tell him if I'm having a bad day. I know he is hearing it without judgment, and his advice is genuinely to try to help me. It's
That's
not
right.
to... So I think because you guys have friendship first, business will be easier.
It does help, for sure. You guys met in high school?
Oh, we met at my 19th birthday.
Yeah.
But yes,
So,
we were very young. We've been together for a very long time.
So by now, like, you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah. He knows. He knows. Sometimes I don't know, but I don't know what I'm giving him. But but yeah, when you're together that long, that is true, and it's tricky, but it's amazing because you're building something together.
That's right.
And something that you can be proud of. Like, do you ever just take a step back from 7 years ago? You own 3 businesses, not one. That was a huge... You didn't take on 1 business, you took on 3. Branding, rebuilding, bringing your family into it, getting out of what you're used to, your husband...
comfort zone.
Yeah, like a whole new, like, you had to get uncomfortable. But would you say it was worth it? You're crazy if you say you were.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I knew the answer to that.
Still love what we do every day. There are challenges.
Absolutely.
And, the biggest thing is, if something doesn't go the way you want, it's how can I make it right? You know what I mean? And how can I feel good about the work that I do at the end of every day?
Yeah.
Because, nothing's perfect.
Nothing. Nothing.
But at the end of the day, you just think, I want to do everything I can to make that client happy or to fulfill their expectations. And no regrets.
No regrets.
No.
And your dad's looking down thinking, man, that's amazing. Because that could have been something too, if we think about like mindset and the way we look at things, right? Like, you have a choice in that situation, right? That could have been like, oh my gosh, and again, I don't know how your dad passed, but obviously it was traumatic. It could have been something that could have shut you down, but instead you took it and turned it into something incredible.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, like your mindset in it is so important when it comes to any business.
Yeah.
But like taking your mindset, taking on 3 businesses, I don't know how you did it. Like, honestly.
A good team behind us.
Yeah.
Like that counts for sure.
So
no one can
you
do
have
alone.
your husband, you, and your 2 kids. Who else is there?
In the company? Well, I have my mother-in-law.
Okay. There's another topic of uncomfortable.
A whole nother family situation, but no, things are good. She supports me with some books and things.
That's amazing.
Because, my philosophy that I picked up from a dear friend of mine is you can have it all, but you can't do it all.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So you have to be willing to help figure it out.
Have you read the book Buy Back Your Time?
No.
Okay. So Dan Martell, a friend of mine, Jackie Service, she was reading this book, Buy Back Your Time. I seen her talking about it. She was talking about her business coach. His name's Dan Martell. Her and I went for coffee. We actually ended up recording a podcast, all of the things. Anyways, she said, Jen, you got to read this book. She literally bought me the copy and gave it to me. I read the book. A week later, I hired I can't even say his name. Dan Martell is my business coach. That book is incredible. Incredible. It's about figuring out different ways, time blocking, about figuring out what your hourly wage is worth and the things that you can pay somebody else. You take 25% of what your wage is and you take that 25%, pay other people to do the things that are those jobs because you will drown because you can't do it yourself.
No. And at the end of the day, someone always gets let down. Oh. If that's what you're trying to do. Yeah.
Right? Like you end up letting yourself down. I think that's the hardest thing is you put so much pressure when you're running a business.
Definitely.
And you see other people running businesses that are crushing it. They have their days as well, but they're crushing it. And then you compare yourself and you're like, well, why can they do it? And I feel like I'm drowning. Because the silent drowning behind the scenes that the general public doesn't see as a business owner, there's days where it's like, oh my gosh, not just business, being a wife, being a mom, being a coach, whatever it might be, being a mentor, being all of these hats and running your business. And then you ticked off a client today and that's on top of it. Nobody sees all these balls you are juggling. You have to hand some of those balls off. Like that is always my biggest recommendation to any entrepreneur. Don't be afraid to buy back your time because you're going to make more money doing the things. Like for me, I love sitting with clients. Right. I love setting that consultation and figuring out that strategic plan on how we can achieve their real estate goals. I'm really good at it. I hate paperwork. I hate it. So I give that to my assistant.
Right.
And if I land a client, I'm going to make way more than what it costs me hourly to get my assistant to do that. And I'm doing things that I like and I'm happy and I'm a better person to be around.
Yeah.
Those are the things. Oh, I'm so with you on that.
Yeah.
You can't do it all.
No,
so we're talking about your team.
You want to, but yeah.
Yeah. So you have your mother-in-law that helps.
Yes. Yeah. So she's behind the scenes helping out. And then we have in the stores, there's a customer service person in each of the stores. Some are full-time, some are part-time.
Okay.
So that's roughly 3 other individuals on our team. And we have a full-time installer and we have a full-time sales. And then Ty also does sales as well as all the other things.
Right.
So yeah, and then there's times like, this week we have a big thing going on and all 3 of the guys are all hands on deck,
Right.
So it's being able to pivot and step in where you're needed and, do everything from take out the garbage to make the follow-up calls, right? So yeah, we do have an incredible team, and we're lean enough, but
growing. So what's the plan for Sunset? All 3, I guess. But let's talk Port Elgin because most of our listeners are this area. Yeah. What's the plan for Sunset in 2020? What are we? 2026. Crazy.
I mean, obviously, we want to grow sales.
Yeah.
We'd like to do more networking with real estate agents like yourself.
Yeah.
We would love working with you. So we'd like to get in on some of the newer builds if we can. And just, continuing to expand the product offering. Getting into more drapery and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really coming back.
It is coming back, yep.
I see it everywhere, and it's beautiful.
Staying on top of the trends, carving out the time to go and see what's new and happening in the industry.
What would you say right now for blinds or drapery, like what is the hottest trend right now? Like I know the California shutters were huge forever.
Yeah. They still are very popular, especially in
mine.
beachy towns, which all of our towns are beachy towns.
Yeah.
We do a lot of cottage things too, and some cottages are your traditional cottage, and some are full-on homes, which is amazing.
Yes.
So yeah, I'd say the shutters are still really popular. They're great for our climate. Mm-hmm. But I would honestly say roller shades have really changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just they're classy. They're textured now. They can still be very commercial if that's your budget or that's your environment that you're working in. But they're really pretty, and they can be really sleek, very contemporary.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Mm-hmm. So, and then with drapery for budget, like I think drapery versus California shutters, let's say. I would think drapery would be way more expensive than shutters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess it depends on the size and the fabrics and whatnot, but we found some pretty solid manufacturers that can do the custom work, which I think is at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
Some of our manufacturers that are further reaching, they're just not in everyone's budget, right?
Yeah.
So we do have a workroom out of Toronto that we started working with for Roman shades and drapery. And
I can't get over as a real estate agent, bringing in blinds, like the amount of value it brings when somebody is purchasing a home versus new. Like I've sold a ton of new homes, and I've sold, I don't like to call them secondhand homes, but residential homes that have already been lived in. And one of the biggest things, as long as the homes are relatively similar, if the home doesn't have blinds versus a home does have blinds, people will lean towards the home with blinds because they don't want to have to do the purchase of doing the blinds in the home. Yeah. It increases the value of saleability more so than price point. But if anybody's listening that wants to sell their home, I would highly recommend, even if you get in, a middle line, it doesn't have to be. It makes such a difference when buyers are going through a home. It's like, we get all the blinds, we get all the drapery, we get all the curtains. Oh my gosh. And it finishes a room.
It does. It creates warmth and texture and security, right? Especially if you are, we have neighbors or you're just worried about
people
being
seeing
exposed, right? Yeah, and not everybody wants to hang their own stuff and take care of their own stuff, right? Like sometimes it's nice just to know a professional's coming in, it's going to be right. And if it's not right, they're going to fix it. Or if it fails, they're going to come fix it. So yeah, nothing has to be top end, especially if you are building or, adding something in to a new home. Like something middle of the line, not top end finishes, easy controls.
Especially if you're selling though. Like it's like to put, let's even say $5,000 throughout the house on blinds. Like if you have that done and your home sits on market and you're going to list, I'm just going to make up a number, for $750,000. Right now we are in a buyer's market. Right now there's a ton of competition in the market, and you're going through multiple homes. I always say, how the first impressions matter when selling your home. If you walk in and the home is looking mint and it's clean and it's cozy and the blinds, and you have that, oh wow, this is really cute feeling, it's going to be more saleable or sellable to the buyer than sitting on market for, because on average right now we're looking at 60 days on market. And 60 days on market normally comes with an under asking offer. Well, maybe that stops at just by having blinds.
Yeah.
And if the home shows right. If you have blinds and the home is a disaster, well, it's not going to make a difference. But if you have blinds and the home is looking the way it should look, a real estate agent did their job, then it will sell your home.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that $5,000 is going to save you probably, let's say, $20,000 under ask is not unheard of in today's market. It's going to save you $15,000.
That's right.
Because you're going to get that offer, hopefully. Nobody has a crystal ball, but you're going to get that offer sooner than the competition because the home shows the way it should.
Yeah, I mean, we do have clients come in and say, we've got this home, I like what I had in my old home, I want to change everything. That doesn't happen very often.
Right.
You know, usually people are grateful to come into a space if it, like you said, shows well.
Yeah.
It has all those comfort elements that they're looking for, you know.
Or it's easy to elevate what's already there, too, right? Have you come in, do a consult, be like, hey, I don't have the budget to redo them all, but I'd really like them to be elevated. Yeah. What can we do?
Exactly.
Like that is, and it's something you've offered for our clients in the past where you'll come in and do a quote for buyers and sellers. We have you in our buyer's guide. We have you in our Your Next Move magazine where you'll come in and do a consultation, not just for my clients, for any real estate agent clients, to be like, hey, this is what it would cost. Your home's going on market in, unfortunately, in real estate, everything's fast. In a week, we can't do a week, but in a couple weeks, let's get this at this cost because you're selling. You know, let's do it on this budget, but it's still going to elevate and bring it all together.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think being able to get there quickly and be here for, you know, the buyers in that case is really neat because, you know, it's very easy for a big box company to sell somebody something and then walk away.
Yes.
There's nowhere for me to go. You will find me.
We know where you are. Yeah. Well, here's the question then. So let's say I have a buyer. They go through a home. They bring an offer on the home and they say, I call you and I say, hey, Courtney, they want to get a quote for blinds. They have you in before they get possession of the home. What is the turnaround time? And let's just say middle of the line. I know this probably depends on what's in stock. Let's assume everything's in stock. What is the turnaround time for a buyer to order the blinds and get them installed?
Right. I mean, we usually say a month is comfortable.
Okay.
Most people have that to work with.
Yeah.
And if they don't have possession, sometimes we can come in with an agent or, you know, under certain approval with a builder or whatever to get what we need. Or, you know, if something just doesn't go according to plan, you know, we can put up something temporary so that they're not feeling exposed once they do get possession. Because when you have, here's your keys, there's a snowball of stuff going on, right?
Gosh,
you know, everyone would love to have their blinds installed the day they get the house, but sometimes that doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
So we definitely have some manufacturers, depending on the situation, that can turn it around quicker. This time of year, it's a slower season, right? Like our cottages are all packed up and gone, and building is still happening, but not at the fast rate it was during the spring, summer, and fall. So, you know, different peak times of the year can cause certain delays. If there is a delay in a material, you know, we can pivot and pick a different material if that's going to help things.
Well, and buyers normally, when they bring an offer, I know there has been the time we've done a faster close than 30 days. But normally it's a 30-day, hopefully lawyers kill me when we write an offer and it's a 2-week close. They do not like me when I do that. But it doesn't happen often. Normally it's 30 plus days. Then, you know, buyers, you guys reach out to your agents, book one of your walkthroughs, get Courtney through to do the quote and get it ordered. And then when you do get possession, you could be in there within 30 days, maybe a little bit longer depending.
Yeah. And we can prioritize certain things, right?
Right.
Like we know when things are shipping and sometimes where they are and, you know, when we can expect them. So we can plan. Right? Yeah.
Which is nice. And that all would come into your buyer's consult or buyers or sellers.
Yeah.
I think sellers don't take advantage enough of doing proper window covering when selling the home.
Right.
I just think it's such a, if you want your home to sell and sellers want to get what they want to get, then we need the home to represent what they want to get. And window coverings is huge.
It is, yeah. And like you said, it's one thing they wouldn't have to worry about.
And same with new builds. Like, let's go into new construction for a second because I won't say who because I don't work with them anymore, but I know there was new construction I was working with, and you went in and you did all the measurements. Like, that's a huge advantage because that's one thing when I take clients through new builds, Normally, they don't get their appliances. They don't have their window
Right.
coverings. They have all landscaping to do it. Like, it's all these things. And as a
Yes.
realtor, I go through it with all of my buyers. I'm like, okay, let's figure out this house that we went through that's 800,000. Now we're going through this build that's 800,000, but we have to buy this. Is this in line with the goals that we set at the beginning of this process? So reaching out to builders is something that could be really, really good. And if there is builders or new constructions listening, you should reach out to Courtney, because it's one of the biggest things that buyers tell me. Oh my gosh, blinds are expensive. If that's built into their mortgage and done ahead of time,
Right.
it makes saleability on new construction, like, it would be huge.
Absolutely.
You can justify a fridge and a stove, or you can buy that secondhand, but your blinds matter. They make the room. Where a fridge, yes, you can get a stainless steel fridge. You have a range where blinds can, and I don't mean this negatively, but they can be very expensive.
They can, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's just such a nice touch to move in and have that done. Every home I've built, they've never come with blinds.
Right.
And it's expense. It is like, okay, now we've got to go. You don't want to go to the washroom
No.
and have your neighbor looking in at
No,
you. You
for
have to
sure.
get blinds.
And often the blinds are on the tail end of the building budget,
Yes.
right? Because, you have to have running water. You have to pass inspection and do all these things, and then the blinds is kind of the extra piece at the end. But at the end of the day, it is comfort, it is security.
Yeah, it's huge. It's one of the top things any new construction home I take people through. There's quite a bit in Port Elgin right now. It is the first thing we say is we have to pay for the blinds. The second is the appliances. And now a lot of builders are putting appliances in, but I almost wish they'd flip it and put the blinds in. Just like set up a package with Courtney.
Yes. And we do. We have packages like, here's your high, medium, low.
Yeah.
And, whether that's for the buyer or for the builder, it can be a very quick and easy process, because a builder doesn't really want to go through fabric books. They just want to say, I want that.
Yeah. Like here, okay, we have a $5,000, a $7,000, and a $10,000. And you're going to sit down with Courtney. Builders, you can send your potential people that are building their homes with you, send them to Courtney, and she can pick what they want. If they go above that, then they go above that, and Courtney sends you that invoice. But it is such a huge advantage to have that in your build. As somebody who has built 3 times, it drives me crazy that I have to do blinds after.
Yes.
So there's my little rant for all of our developers that are listening.
And we've had a lot of buyers come in and say, I'm building a home from this builder, and they come in Sunset Blinds. We're right downtown. They have everything they could possibly want to look at their disposal. And then it's like, okay, this is what I like. And then we say, okay, we'll now bring this to you and figure out, does it meet all your needs in your space, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a huge market, and a huge benefit for the buyers. Somebody who sees that side of it often. It's definitely an untapped market too. Yeah. So I'll definitely keep that in mind on that side of it. So as we wrap up, we went over quite a few different details, and this is what I love about this, because it's so just conversation.
Yeah.
I try not to take it more than an hour. I'm not even sure what we're at.
I
need to put a clock up there so I can see the timer ticking. That'll make it a lot easier. But if you could tell yourself 8 years ago one thing now, and then flip it and tell yourself something now to yourself 8 years ago, what would those things be? So to remind yourself of who you are 8 years ago to today, that you would like to tell yourself now that remember this, and then something you would love to tell yourself who you were 8 years ago now.
Okay. So if I could go back and tell myself then, it would be, don't be afraid of taking risks.
Yeah.
Making mistakes and learning from them is natural. And if you're not a little bit scared about a risk, then are you really that invested?
Well, okay, sorry, I'm going to cut you off again. Have you heard the song Daydream by Lily? It's literally like my mantra song. There's a line in that song that says, if it doesn't scare the hell out of you, it's not big enough. It's supposed to scare you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's supposed to be scary, but it's so amazing when you achieve it.
Absolutely.
Like, you're running 3 businesses. Like, how freaking incredible. Would have you thought 10 years ago you would be sitting right here, right now?
No, not at all. Because you're in a different state of mind.
Yeah.
Before jumping into entrepreneurship and
mistakes are as much as in the moment, because I am somebody who spirals and I love to have meltdowns. But mistakes are amazing.
Yes.
Like, there isn't a mistake that I have made, from friendships to business to marriage to being a mom. There isn't a mistake that I have made that I don't appreciate, because what I've taken from that mistake has been so rewarding and helped me get to where I am and made me so much of a better human being.
Absolutely.
In all things.
And then it's like, okay, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to do it differently this time,
Yeah. Don't be afraid of mistakes. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other way around. Okay. Because we get busy. And this is something that, it's weird. It's a weird question. But I think as entrepreneurs, sometimes we forget to slow down, right? We forget, oh yeah, I'm a human being. Oh yeah, I forget who Jen was before she was a real estate agent, before she was running a team, before she was doing courses. What do I want to tell myself? That Jen that was a totally different person. What does that Jen want to tell this Jen right now?
Yeah, and you hit on it earlier. Like, time is a thief. And you blink and it's like, wow, that was really 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing is, yes, we're invested and we're immersed in our day-to-day, but don't forget, and this is where Ty comes in because he's so good at this, is just stopping and reflecting and carve out the time. Don't sacrifice your life for what you do.
Yeah.
Right?
Make it your life.
That's right.
Yeah. That's, it's so true. We forget to celebrate the wins. I think that would be the one thing that my younger self would tell me, and I try to, but what you're doing is, for you, in your story, in your chapter, is amazing. Right? Like, it really is. Like,
thank you. Yeah.
You are running 3 businesses with your husband. You're involving your kids who are getting to see the struggle. Yeah. You're involving your mother-in-law. You've got your dad and your soul as a part of it. Yeah. Like, there's so much beauty in what you're doing and how you're growing it, and you're trying. Even your comment about your staff and how they didn't align with your ethics and how much it sucked to say goodbye, but it's staying true to your core values, what you want to build, and don't lose sight of the vision that you guys are building as a family. It's incredible, and celebrate that win and take a minute and make sure you celebrate them, because they're big wins, and sometimes life gets so busy we forget to pause and be like, yeah, I'm freaking amazing. It's hard to say that, right? People are like, oh, she's got a big ego.
Yeah, right?
Oh, no, trust me, I'm not amazing a lot of the times, but
yeah,
we are amazing at pushing through and going after your goals and not being afraid to get uncomfortable or be afraid of making a mistake or falling a million times. You get back up.
That's right.
Right? Like, that's the thing, is you look at other people and you're like, wow, they make it look so easy. But they're at the 500 times they failed. Nobody sees that.
That's right.
And that's where it's just like, yeah, I commend you. Like, 3 businesses, brand new world. I was always in sales. Jumping from the spa world to real estate, it was scary, but it's still sales. It's still, I had invested in real estate. I wasn't brave enough to go in a whole different, I knew real estate. It wasn't unfamiliar to me. You went completely unfamiliar. You took that jump.
Thank you for spending this time with us. If anything from today's conversation stayed with you, let it. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. Growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. and sometimes it's simply just choosing to keep going. Wherever you are in your journey, whether things feel heavy or hopeful, or somewhere in between, you're not behind and you're definitely not alone. Take what you need from this conversation, leave the rest, and trust that everything will be okay. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. I am Jen Lamont, and this is Uncomfortable Growth.